Welcome back to the City Current Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference, empowering the good. And we love talking about entrepreneurship, especially with our youth. We're talking about LITE Memphis. We're joined by their executive director, Larissa Gregory. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Jeremy. How are you doing?
Doing very well.
Good.
Over the years, we've had a chance to spotlight LITE Memphis and all the amazing work you do. And so long history and powerful in terms of the transformation, especially engaging the business community with the students to focus on entrepreneurship. But let's start with a little bit of just your backstory personally and what led you to LITE Memphis.
Yeah, so I'm a native of Knoxville, been in Memphis for the last 10-ish years. Came here by way of education and served as a school leader for a while. My background's cognitive behavior therapy, so love being with kids, love being with parents, love being in the community. Served as a school leader, took a pause for about 3 years and actually started my own business as a consultant and did that for 3 years while our son, who was medically ill at the time, upon his passing, unfortunately, I took a pause and I took a step back and I said, what's the next right thing? And I knew that I wanted to be back in the community. I knew that I wanted to be back with kids. And so found LITE Memphis, a hidden gem in my personal opinion. And it's something that we want to put on top of a hill and continually push it forward. And so got into LITE Memphis and been here for the last 30 days and just really excited about it.
And I think we're excited to see, what you're able to bring to the table in terms of vision, leadership, because LITE Memphis, like I said, it has a long history, but I think the future is so bright and it's so necessary what you do. I think when you talk about entrepreneurship, in many cases, you think of the adults, but yet if you can really equip and empower them at a young age, it really does create change for our community in a very good way. So talk about what makes you excited when you look at working with youth, bringing in the business community, but focusing on entrepreneurship and really challenges, understanding how to identify gaps, but ultimately create solutions to solve for challenges. I think there's a lot of cool storylines for the students, but talk about what makes you excited about this opportunity.
Yeah, I get pumped just thinking about tangible opportunities for kids and students having the opportunity to see their ideas come to life. For them to have support behind their ideas, to see them come to life, for them to have tangible plans and products and support. I think about dreams that just go deferred, if you will. And LITE Memphis has had an opportunity, as you talk about our history, and we have an opportunity to continue to make those dreams an actual reality, to see challenges met with potential solutions, to see businesses birthed that wouldn't otherwise come forth in our city, and to really see 21st century skills given to our youth that maybe wouldn't otherwise have access to them. And so that gets me really excited. It gets me excited as I think about our youth entrepreneur program that happens on Sunday, seeing kids walk through the door, like that's everything. Seeing our staff interact with them, seeing workshops happen throughout our community, like that's what it's about, getting them in there, getting them skills, and seeing them successful and wrapping around them so that their conceptual idea can become an actual product and something that they're working with.
So you've already started unpacking. Let's go ahead and carry that forward into how do you describe LITE Memphis, the programs? Go ahead and dive in.
Yeah, so again, our mission and vision is to close the racial gap, the racial wealth gap in our city, to be specific, for African American and Latinx students. And so we do that by equipping students with those 21st century intangible and tangible business skills so that they can pursue their entrepreneurial hopes. And that looks like several different ways. It starts with our 16-week program that we host one cohort in the fall, we host another cohort in the spring, but in between those, we're also doing workshops in the community, some with partners such as bridge builders, some in schools, some in community centers. And then we also have our wraparound service campuses. So it's not like kids just go with us for those 16 weeks. They stay with us for a while. They become innovation fellows. They have fellowships. They have internships, excuse me. They have opportunities in the community and just really around the Mid-South. And so really, really wrapping around them is the idea, and supporting the needs, the skills to be successful.
We've had a chance to spotlight some of the young entrepreneurs who've gone on to win the Spark Awards. We've had a number of our corporate leaders get involved. I myself have been involved since actually the get-go of this, and working with the youth. And it's amazing to see when you look at them identify a challenge in their neighborhood, in their community, but ultimately come up with ideas and solutions and realize at a young age that they can take ownership and create change, and that you don't have to have a fancy title. You literally can create your own destiny, but you also too can create powerful transformation within your own community as a leader.
Right.
And so it's awesome to see the growth and maturity and development. Talk about corporate partnerships, though, because it does play a vital role. And you recently had a huge announcement. And so talk about corporate partnership, and one especially with Cummins.
Yeah, so our exiting executive director, Lakeithia Glenn, and the staff did a beautiful job of securing a $450,000 grant with Cummins. And we could not be more excited of what that means for kids and what it means for our community and what it means for programming. It means that we can take a step back and we can be very, very strategic in dreaming of what programming looks like and what it sounds like and where it can be and where it can reach and what we can do with youth in our city and supporting their dreams. So we could not be more thankful for partnerships such as Cummins, and look forward to what that means in the coming 3 years with that funding.
Carry that forward into the engagement, especially the physical engagement. The financial support obviously is extremely necessary, like you're talking about. But I think
absolutely,
what really does make it special is business leaders coming in and serving as mentors, as guides, offering the internship opportunities. There's a lot of ways the business community can plug in. So go ahead and talk about some of those different ways.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to be involved, and that fiscal support is absolutely necessary, but the physical support is necessary too, as you're saying, in volunteering, mentoring, being available to be a mentor on Sundays. It's a 2-hour commitment, and it's really an opportunity to share with students, to hear what they're thinking, to challenge them, to provide your expertise, and that's always needed and necessary. We're actually open for mentors right now, both for the fall and for the spring. So if folks are interested, please, please, please reach out and apply. LITEmemphis.org, and there's a drop-down tab. But then there's also opportunities like our upcoming Community Partner Day, which is scheduled for October 2nd. It'll be hosted at Crosstown. There's 2 time slot opportunities, 1 to 3, 3 to 5, and we're asking business leaders from the community to come together and to hear what students have come up with so far, and to sit with them, to talk through their ideas, to push back, again, to challenge and to offer their expertise in that moment as well. So if you don't have every Sunday, we invite you to come out to Community Partner Day, definitely. And then there's other ongoing opportunities. We're always open to partnering with businesses for internships, for fellows to come in. So any way that a business person wants to be a part of LITE Memphis, we can definitely make that happen.
And it covers all gamuts in terms of experience levels and your specialization, whether that's marketing, operations, finance. Anybody can help and open a door. And to me, I still go back to one of the very first ones that I was working with was a student who wanted to work on food insecurity and food deserts. And the original idea was open a grocery store in the neighborhood. And as we started talking through, and there was other, business leaders there, he realized, wait a second, I can start a pop-up style, work with community gardens, and I can do this in like a week. And so next thing you know, he's actually like bringing this whole idea and business to fruition within, weeks.
Yeah.
And so it's just ideas like that you can throw out there and say, what if, and try this. And next thing you know, they're off and running with it. And it's extremely rewarding to then see them take those ideas and run with them and create something that's successful, but ultimately solving a challenge. So carry that into some of the other ways that we can help throughout the year in terms of, obviously we talked about volunteerism, the fiscal side, but talk about some of the big events and different ways that we can plug in and really help your efforts.
Yeah, so we would love to have people to come out to Pitch Night. Pitch Night is in December, and there'll be more details coming soon around that about when, where. But the why is giving kids an opportunity, youth entrepreneurs an opportunity to share what they've learned, to share what they've put together, to give their pitch to the community and to partners. And so that's a beautiful time to come together and just to see everything that they've come up with. That's the most soon coming thing that we have. We have a block party coming up on October 8th, and that's going to be a lot of fun. More details to come on that as well. But there's going to be 13 students, or 13, I keep saying students, Jeremy, because I've been in education so long, but 13 youth entrepreneurs, I'm still learning my language, that will be out there with their actual products. And so like, bring your checkbook, bring your Venmo, bring your Cash App, and come and see some of those products on October 8th. But those are some ways to stay involved and get involved. And there's always opportunities. Again, if you go to litememphis.org and click down on volunteer, we'll be sure to contact you for sure.
Yeah, that's LITE. So LITE Memphis.org. And
yes,
share your vision, because obviously you're still early on, and obviously, like you said, still learning the vernacular and all the little things, but I mean, you're diving in feet first. But as we alluded to on the front end, you're bringing leadership, you're bringing a different lens, you're bringing a different vision. And so carrying the tradition obviously forward, but you get to do it in a unique way on your end, handcrafting it. And so talk about your vision for the future.
I was talking to the staff about this last week, actually, and coming in with about 12 to 13 years of education under my belt as a school leader, I'm coming in with a student focus center. And I will continue to work on my language to say youth entrepreneur, because that's definitely what we are producing here. But being in the community matters to me, Jeremy, as an organization, going to where the racial gap needs to be closed. And that can't be by sitting back, that has to be by diving in. And so going to those community events, we were at the Taste of Memphis last night, going to the different community centers, being in schools, talking with students, talking with families, sharing our vision and success stories and what that could mean and unlock for kids' trajectories and their futures. That's really what I see happening. And the staff has been long at work for the last almost 10 years of making that a real reality for people. But I think about the students that I've had over the last 12-ish years, and I think about what if they knew, what if that individual knew about LITE Memphis, what could it have meant for their trajectory? And so just making sure that we're getting into every crack and crevice, if you will, in our city and spreading the good news, and no pun intended, but spreading the light of Memphis so that students can have opportunities and access to closing that racial wealth gap and building their entrepreneurial hopes and dreams.
As an educator, I look at entrepreneurship, and you've got the business side, yes, but I think the applicable skills of just identifying challenges, solution-driven thinking, process, having to really think through a lot of variables and understand even the politics of certain decisions. There's a lot of lessons that are learned going through, regardless of whether, of even turning into an entrepreneur, just in terms of character building, confidence, life skills. For you as an educator, unpack that side in terms of what the young entrepreneurs, but ultimately the students, are gaining besides the business side, just life skills wise, what they're gaining going through this program.
I would like to think that they are gaining a sense of social awareness, the needs of their communities, the needs of their peers, the needs of our city. I'd like to think that they're gaining self-compassion, because you have to have some grace for yourself as you fail. We all fail, and we learn from those and we grow stronger. I'd like to think that they're gaining some self-confidence in this as well, that like, I have an idea that can be applied to my neighborhood, my city, people around me, nationwide, and I can come up with a solution for a need that people have. It's those intangible skills that we don't often talk about, whether it's in the business sector or the education sector. And And, we are resilient by nature, but being able to name it and what it looks like and sounds like is something that I hope that youth entrepreneurs will learn through our program. But you're exactly right. There's so many character development moments, teachable moments that happen during the program. And our staff does a really great job of like pausing and zooming in on those, if you will, and taking advantage of those.
Give me one more thing that you wish everyone knew about LITE Memphis.
I wish everyone knew about the opportunity to come and be with LITE Memphis, whether that's supporting financially, whether that's giving of your time and your expertise, or just attending one of our events, October 2nd, October 8th, coming in December. Those are great opportunities, but I want people to come and be with us. There are so many great small businesses in our city. There's so many brilliant minds in our city that our youth could really, really benefit from. And so come and be with us, come and be with our students, come watch as they develop into youth entrepreneurs, and it'll be well worth your time, well worth the investment.
Absolutely. Wrap up. We've been talking about it throughout, but website, social media, what's the contact information? Where do we go to learn more and get involved with LITE Memphis?
Yeah, so it's litememphis.org. LITE stands for Let's Innovate Through Education. You can also find us on Instagram, and stay tuned to your email. You can sign up for our newsletter at the bottom of our website, and we'll send you all the information that you want to know.
Well, Larissa, greatly appreciate all you and your amazing team are doing. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks, Jeremy, for having me.